Anand Ahuja, the guy who owns Veg Non-Veg, directly connects with all the brands, like not even one or two brands, but directly connects with all the brands. He has the global access wherein he's traveling every now and then to pretty much each and every country that we can think of. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Street Sense, and this is the 12th episode of our podcast, the Gabfest. So far, going so good, and thank you so very much for all those lovely reviews, guys. And as far as today's video is concerned, we personally believe that it's super important for us to talk about this thing. This is not really something that we have done anything of this sort yet, but it's super important for us to talk about is because of the thought process and the ideologies. And yes, on that note, this is going to be a completely perspective based, guys. There's no history lesson coming in, there is no fact check that's going to happen through the internet, nothing of that sort. It's completely going to be perspective based, so stay tuned for that. Before hitting our main topic, let's actually talk about what is it that I'm wearing today, which again is super special to me. So this is basically a t-shirt from Bhane, and this was the very first piece that I copped off from Bhane. Bhane, hands down, I personally believe is the top of the game, guys. Is the top of the food chain. Shout out to Anand Ahuja, man. Again, like, this video is completely dedicated towards you, and it's not like because this video was supposed to be made, that's why I wore it, but I just felt like wearing it, man. The fit is great, as you guys can already see. It's true to the size. Of course, there are different types of fits also available with Bhane, but this is true to the size, and I love this. And the quality, guys, the quality is super fucking amazing. Like, the quality is super premium, and this sort of a quality in a t-shirt is not something that I actually have seen specifically from any Indian brand. Like, this quality is normally what we see in, like, a, you know how we have those summerish hoodies and stuff like that. So it's somewhat like that, but it's super premium, guys. So that's for the t-shirt, and underneath is like just a distressed denim from H&M. Nothing special about it, rather I've like even fucked it up even more by ripping it off, right? So that's that, guys. That's completely all about what is it that I'm wearing today. Again, the t-shirt is super fucking amazing. I love Bhane, and Bhane is killing it, man. It's literally the top of the game. And the only thing that I expect all of you guys to do is just go and check out their Instagram page and their website, and they have some amazing pieces that they've dropped lately. So that's that. Now let's head on to our main topic of the day. So, guys, as you can already see from the title and from the thumbnail, that we're going to talk about the top 5 sneakers that according to Anand Ahuja has in his closet, and probably, the top 5 most favorite sneakers from his closet. That's about it. Where did this idea came from, and how did Anand Ahuja actually showed all of us his sneaker closet and his top 5 sneakers, is through a small little story campaign that Veg Non-Veg did. Veg Non-Veg, again, being his brand, co-founded by Emilia and Abhineet, both of these people. So this trio has been killing it in the game since like the inception, which was 2016 is when they dropped as in dropped the brand Veg Non-Veg. And since that time they are like killing it in the whole Indian sneaker game, right? So they did like a very small sort of a story campaign on social media, on Instagram specifically, right? Wherein the first person to be initiating this concept was Anand Ahuja himself, to show his top 5 most favorite, I would say, sneakers, right? So that's what he did, and this is a quick glimpse from there. So this is what he actually showed, like, as far as his top 5 sneakers are concerned. But considering Anand's aura, Anand's perception, his influence, and all those things together, did any one of you actually think that this would be the sort of lineup that's gonna come through him? and from him as far as his top 5 sneakers are concerned. I personally did not think so, sorry, right? Uh, like I know it for a fact that he's more of a sneakerhead than a hype beast, and I was super sure that there's gonna be like a lot of Gias that gonna come out from his closet, but this was like a completely, a crazy sort of a lineup that he showed. Like, okay, so let's quickly talk about it. Like, we would hit his stories for the basketball sneakers later on, but let's talk about his top 5 sneakers that he personally thinks. One were the Adidas 3D runners, the all black ones, then Nike Flyknits, Adidas likewise, then the CDG Dunks, and the bread ones, right? So, of course, these are like the top 5 that he said, and then he had his, honorary mentions of the Pharrells and the Nikes, right? So that's that. But the top 5 being 3D runners, Nike Flyknit, Adidas, CDG Dunks, and bread ones, right? Out of this lineup specifically, besides CDG Dunks, there is no other sneaker which has any sort of a collab, right? Rather, the Adidas and the Nikes are proper general releases, and even today, you guys can find it at any store. And at most of the places, you might also get like some great deals under retail, right? And considering Anand himself, wherein, you know, so okay, let's talk about Anand, right? Anand Ahuja, the guy who owns Veg Non Veg, directly connects with all the brands, like not even one or two brands, but directly connects with all the brands. He has the global access wherein he's traveling every now and then to pretty much each and every country that we can think of, right? Has access to each and every sort of a store, be it Flight Club, Stadium Goods, Bodega, Foot Locker, this and that, whatnot, right? But still having such, you know, personally from his perception as to wherein we all of us know it through his stories and through his posts and everywhere around, we know that he has off whites, he has got the adapt BBs, he has got the adapt Hurachis, right? And so many other pairs, but still having all those pairs in line inside his closet, still amongst the top 5, he has these so low-key and so, so generic sort of pairs, right? This is something what defines him like a true sneakerhead. It's not really about the brand, it's not really about, the price point that's probably attached to that specific silhouette, and it's not really about any sort of a collaboration or any sort of a hype that's attached to any sort of a silhouette. Even CDG Dunks, for that matter, they are not like super hyped up. Like, none of us would be talking about that specific collaboration. Like, even in the biggest of the sneaker groups of India, there is no sort of a reference also that comes up as far as the CDG Dunks are concerned. So it's really a low key sort of a collaboration, even if we consider that that's a pair that's apart in his closet amongst his top 5, right? So again, even CDG Dunks are not in that top 5 because of CDG or because of the collaboration or because of the hype, because there's no such hype for that pair also. It's purely about the story, guys. And this is the sort of a thought process that we've been trying to share, and that's something that we want each and every one of us to have, especially for the people who are super duper enthusiastic about this culture, right, guys? So BBs, off-white, Supremes, this, that, whatnot, the entire fucking global access like literally lies in front of him. Like, with one, like, we can actually assume only, but with just one call, he can pretty much access any and every pair that we can think of, right? Most of us would be like filling in raffles, or would be going out for camp outs, and connecting with our friends and family people to just help us cop an XYZ pair. For him, it's like just one phone call, right? And it's not just about you know him being able to travel all around the globe and this and that, but also the fact that because of veg non-veg, him and his entire team is like constantly connected with each and every, like literally each and every brand, right? Especially if it's like, even for that matter, if we pick up say Yeezys, or if we pick up say Jordans, right? There have been so many exclusive sort of Jordans that come up every now and then there are so many SE releases that happen. There are so many Yeezy releases that have been happening, but not even one single pair from that besides bread ones. And we all know why bread ones are also a part of it. Bread ones, as he rightly said, was VNV's first major drop, for which like there was like a proper camp out that happened. And the other pair is like the OG pair from 90s, right? So, and that's like a dead stock pair, I guess. Yeah, that one's the dead stock pair, and the pair that he wears every now and then is from the VNV drop, right? So that's also because of the story, right? It's not just because it's accessible to him, or it's not just because he was able to drop it through his own brand, right? So that's the sort of thought process we want each and every one of us have. Even if you guys have the access of the entire fucking globe, and you guys can get your hands on say Travis's, say Adapt, say even Air Mags for that matter, but always understand the value of GRs, and not just GRs, I would say, but each and every silhouette, right? For him, it's more about utility, it's more about the story, which should always be the idea of every sneakerhead. If you are like a part of this whole game because of the hype, because of the clout, and not because you love it actually, then personally speaking, you become more sort of like just a business personality who wants to enter a specific domain because he or she basically thinks that there's a crazy scope of churning out a lot of money out of a specific industry or a culture, right? That actually does not make you a sneakerhead. Heck, sneakerhead for that matter. That does not even make you a sneaker lover. Because all in all, why you are in this whole thing is because of the transactional and the commercial part of it, right? This is the sort of idea, this is the sort of thought process all of us actually need in our culture, specifically in India, because this is something that we lack, all of us lack, right? Why? Because India has always been influenced by the Western world and the celebrity culture and the celebrity influence. And when it's more about the Western culture, even the things that come from the West and reaches our radar and comes under our radar, I would say, right, are most of the hyped up pieces. And the celebrity influence again is more on the hyped up level. Why? Because it's showbiz, and they also are like investing in those pieces only which are pretty premium as far as the valuation is also concerned, right? So that's that, guys. 3D runners, a super, so tech wise it's out there, it's amongst the best techs and the most comfortable pieces that we basically have. 3D runners, right? Flyknits again comfort, Adidas again comfort, CDG dunks because again the sort of personality Anand actually is. Like he's a basketball guy and he loves to be inside a court. So that's that. And likewise the bread ones, because of the story, because of the thought process, because it's something that he connects with, not just because of basketball, but because of course the first major drop that VNV happened, and VNV being his own baby would of course be like super special to him, no matter how many other say premium or special edition or collaboration sort of pairs he would drop. The first major drop would always be bread ones, and that would always be super close to him. So that's what defines him like a real sneakerhead. Unlike a lot of other, Instagram influencers who are constantly talking about just say Supremes or Off Whites or this or that or whatnot. And you guys know like what am I hinting at, and all these people I'm actually talking about, right? So moving forward from that, let's talk about his lineup for his best five basketball sneakers as well. So the first ones were Dame 4s that he showed, which were the Babe Funs, and then there were Kobe 4s, Kobe 5s, then Jordan 29s. Jordan 29 is something that he, as he said, that he loves, and that would be amongst his top five. But because he did not have that, that's when he showed the 28s and the Converse All Star BB height tops. Again, Kobe 4, Kobe 5, nothing super hyped up. Even Dame 4s, he said he loves the silhouette, right? As of now, because of accessibility, he has the Babe funds. But Dame 4s as a silhouette, as the comfort, as far as the utility is concerned, that's why he loves it even more. And likewise, the Converse All Star BB high tops, those were sitting on the shelves of veg non veg for so long, guys. And those were like, those dropped at retail and those were available for each and every one of us. So all in all, guys, the only agenda we had with this video and the sort of content that we've been trying to drop around this sort of lineup, and why picking up only Anand Ahuja, is because Anand Ahuja is a pioneer. He has been taking this culture forward since the beginning. Like having a brand, having like a multi-brand sneaker boutique, the first ever for India, get in place in Delhi in 2016 itself, right? Then expanding it around three cities, which is Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore. Then doing so many other things for the culture, which we all know of, be it through their events, be it through some exclusive drops, be it connecting the Indian culture with the brands and showing actually the brands as to what's the sort of potential the Indian audience actually has as a whole, right? So he has been doing it since day one and he continues to do it, right? And even after so much of an influence, so much of power, so much of accessibility, and his aura as a whole, but still he never shies out in saying that these are his top five, be it the basketball, be it the regular ones. And there was not even a single pair that we would say that is super hyped up, or is something that is there in his list because of uh, you know the sort of brand name that's attached to it. It's all about story. It's all about your utility. It's all about your personal representation. It's all about how you look at a specific sneaker. Like Nike Flyknit is not even a pair that I would say that is amongst my top five. Like I would still use, say, a Chuck Taylor or an old school and stuff like that. Like, but not Flyknits, of course, right? I would not have that. That's my personal representation. But I would definitely have a Skate High. I would definitely have a Check 70, the white colorway or the cream colorway for that matter, right? So basically, guys, the whole idea behind making this video is, if Anand Ahuja and a personality like him is taking this culture forward, and literally he is someone who's taking this culture forward only and only because of the love for sneakers, and only because the sort of um, ideology that we should build around it, right? This is not something that we should run forward for or towards, which is hype. Always and always move with the stories, always and always move with the utility, always and always move with something what's close to you, and never really shy away from you know repping them all across, right? You should not be so this again is one thing that I've realized, but you should not shy away from wearing old schools to a Delhi Kicks exchange, probably because you already know that there will be people who would be rocking Travis Scotts and Off-Whites. That should not take anything away from you, or should make you apprehensive to wear old schools to a pop-up or to a meetup like that, right? That should never be the case. Rock Off-Whites or rock Travis Scotts because there is a sort of story that you probably feel connects you with that silhouette or with that pair, but not just because of the hype or not just because of the clout. that's all in all what I would actually say, because again, clout and hype is something that's a really short term sort of a thing. In the long term and in the sustainable space, it's only and only stories and general releases and the silhouettes that gonna take things forward, and not any sort of a collaboration or hype. So guys, that's pretty much it for the day, and thank you so very much for tuning in. There was no fact check in today's video and no sort of a history lesson. It was completely perspective based, and this is really the perspective how we also roll as street sense, and this is the ideology that we want to take forward. And we would love, all in all, most of you to connect with us on those lines, and not just talk about, say, what's probably the potential resale value of an off-white or an upcoming Travis Scott, right? So it would be great. We would love to connect with all, we any which ways connect with each and every one of you through our DMs or through the comment section and blah blah blah. But we would love to connect for stories also. We would love to connect with the utility also, and not just talk about, you know the perspectives or the valuations of any sort of a hyped up collaboration or this or that. Right, guys? So thank you so very much for tuning in. This means a lot to us, and if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and like the video, and you know the drill, guys. Right? So thank you so very much, and take care, stay away from the viruses, and good night.